Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And I just want to mention a few things. First of all, be careful out there, guys. Oh my God, people are so crazy right now. I was in Walmart, getting a month's supply worth of dog food. That to me, that's more important than toilet paper. But I just happened to go by the toilet paper aisle. And this was the shelves at Walmart. There was not one single roll of toilet paper. And I understand, this whole thing. There was even a psychologist on one of the news channels that was saying that in times like this, people are very anxious and fearful, especially when they're sitting and just watching fear porn nonstop. It just builds an anxiety in it, and you could actually feel it in town yesterday. You could almost cut it with a knife. It was just so bad. And but like the psychologist was saying, this is one of the few things you can control in your life, and this is why people will start stocking up on stuff. And that's exactly what they were doing yesterday. And but anyway, just breathe. When you have a lot of stress and anxiety, it starts breaking down your immune system, and you need to build up your immune system. So, try your best, friends, not to worry and be stressed out and have anxiety. And no, do not go back to the Kingdom Hall. Jehovah's Witnesses are not right. And so just remember that, because it just kind of makes your immune system go all, and then that's when you get stuff. On another note, many of you know that my daughter works for the public school system. Well, on the news last night at 6 o'clock, the governor of New Mexico and the Department of Public Education have shut down all public schools statewide in New Mexico for 3 weeks. Now, we only have 6 cases of the C virus, COVID-19, here in New Mexico, but they're trying to suppress community spread. The governor even mentioned that there's not going to be any state workers traveling out of state right now, and if they do, they are going to be quarantined for 2 to 3 weeks. And they are starting to do multiple testing here, like in many states, and I know many of you have been letting me know what's going on in other states. And the biggest thing is just, try your best just to relax. And I know it's stressful, and avoid town, because people are crazy and they're capable of anything. They're having riots over toilet paper. City people, I swear. No offense to you city people. But I mean, rags that can be thrown away, water bottles, I don't know. Anyway, now I've had several of you let me know that in Southern California, here in the United States, the Jehovah's Witnesses, aka Watchtower, are canceling meetings and conventions and everything all over the place. Now, it depends on the area you're in. High-risk areas, they are canceling all meetings and field service in Southern California of areas that have a lot of cases, and there's a chance of community spread. Other places, they're only, limiting things. And I've got a couple of elders' letters here, but I want to thank all of our friends in California who have let us know about this. And I did get, I emailed someone I knew who was in California and asked them if they had heard anything. And she wrote back and says, yes, we just got word that that is the case, and they are giving streaming for meetings, information to some of the congregations. Hope you're doing okay. And like I said, this is correct. It's in certain areas. Not all areas are hard hit with this. The governor also said no meetings of people to exceed 250. Now, this is in the state of California. So the governor has, shut down large meetings. So they closed Disneyland and Universal Studios here in Southern California for the public to attend. Some of the PMOs are being kept in the dark over here regarding meetings, as I don't know if that's a way of weeding out those that are reporting these things or not from the branch. But in any case, it's a serious issue and it should not be dealt with as some kind of a vindictive game by anyone. She's absolutely right. These PMOs need to be informed also. So anyway, like I said, I've got a couple of letters here, and also in the Czech Republic. Thank you, Chris. And I'm just going to read his email. Today, the Czech government has declared the state of emergency, which will have an impact on almost all events taking place in the next 30 days, including religious meetings. And this is starting to happen all over. It seems that not just the ordinary weekly meetings are banned, but also the memorial meal this year. All events with more than 30 people are banned and can be punished with, looks like 3 million Czech crowns. That is 128,500 US dollars. Well, they don't have to worry. They only get like 30 attendees at their meetings anyway, so they're good. I know, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, let's see how Jehovah's Witnesses will react to it. Will they obey or ignore it? Also a good question is if they cancel the public ministry, and they had seen them out that very day with their trolleys. The government has declared a state of emergency, announced Prime Minister Andrej Babiš. The state of emergency applies to the whole territory of the Czech Republic. From this moment on, for another 30 days, added Babiš, with effect from tomorrow at 6 in the morning, the government cancels any events over 30 persons. The measure applies to cultural, sporting, religious events, festivals, pilgrimages, shows, markets, and other events. The government has also banned the travel of Czech citizens to high-risk areas besides China, Iran, or South Korea. This also applies to many European countries, including Austria, Germany, and Italy. And I know that one of the cases that tested positive here in New Mexico, she had just traveled to Italy, and 2 others, they had traveled to Egypt, and I think the rest were in New York City. So police officers together with the Social Security Administration will check the quarantine. If it is violated, it will impose sanctions of up to 3 million crowns. So interesting, news from what's going on around the world. And also, this is from my friend in Southern California. It seems like everyone in congregations are passing to each other different messages in different areas. Our area here where we live hasn't canceled their meetings yet at Kingdom Halls. Only assemblies have been canceled over here in Norco, California, and Mira Loma. San Gabriel Valley has canceled meetings at Kingdom Hall, but not our area unless they're going to read something on Sunday meeting. There's no unity in messages. Florida getting ready for small memorial meetings. Hopefully you can get more concrete letters, because what if the branch is sending conflicting messages to weed out the whistleblowers? Exactly. But what I have heard is it just depends on what area you are in. Now it's interesting because the Mormons, the Church of Latter-day Saints, they have canceled their big district, meeting that they have worldwide, which they get like 100,000 people, and they have that in Utah over by the temple. Except they're going to do a live stream, and just those who are basically the governing body and speakers and the tech crew are allowed, and there's not going to be anyone else, and it's going to be streamed. And that's basically what a lot of these companies are doing. Wrestling, Major League Baseball here, they have postponed opening day for 2 weeks. Now also I want to thank those of you who have sent me the link on the newsroom of the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. They've done an update yesterday, and the gatherings of church members temporarily suspended worldwide. And I think you're going to see more churches doing this. And they have sent out a letter as well. So without further ado, I will cover these letters. Now I will start with the UK letter to all congregations regarding coronavirus outbreak. Dear brothers, as you are likely aware, various governments are monitoring the spread of a virus which authorities refer to as novel coronavirus 2019 or COVID-19. While we do not wish to cause panic or unnecessary alarm, we are writing to acknowledge this concern. We also want to provide some direction for spiritual activities and give basic reminders about good hygiene, which can protect us from a variety of illnesses. And this is basically the same letter that I read the other day. It does say that all tours and guests to Bethel are canceled. All circuit assemblies are canceled. All Bethel speaking assignments are canceled. Memorial campaign hand out printed invitations only to friends, family, or acquaintances. Arrangement for memorial locations are still under review. And I will cover that in the U.S. letter that I got yesterday. And then they just go on to say the precautions that you can take, and if you're sick, do not go to the meeting. Now, P.S. to coordinators of the bodies of elders. Please arrange for this letter to be read during the next meeting. Thereafter, the letter should be posted on the notice board for 1 month. Note also that congregations must not combine for the memorial. Any current memorial arrangement should not result in a crowded gathering. The body of elders can make additional local adjustments as needed. For example, microphones should be placed on poles to reduce the spread of germs. Make sure those who cannot attend meetings, especially older ones, have access to spiritual provisions at home. And like we said, they're setting up the JW stream for them to get all of this information. Alright, now I've got the one I got from yesterday, and I want to thank Kingdom Hall Insider and Atlantis for the one from the UK. But this one is the Christian Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses, and it comes out of New York. To all bodies of elders in the United States branch territory regarding large Christian gatherings and the memorial. Dear brothers, we are deeply concerned about the brotherhood in connection with the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The current global pandemic reminds us of the description of the ride of the fourth horseman in Revelation chapter 6, which includes mention of deadly plague. These events strengthen our faith that we are living in the final part of the last days, and leave it to Watchtower to turn this into the Great Tribulation is almost here. Armageddon's almost here. We are writing to provide additional direction regarding upcoming spiritual gatherings, including the memorial of Christ's death, along with the information provided in the letter to all bodies of elders dated March 9, 2020. Please note the following, and that's the letter that I read the other day and this one that I was just covering. Large Christian gatherings. All spiritual events in the United States branch territory that are larger than a congregation meeting, including circuit assemblies, are canceled until further notice. The principle should also be applied to limit the size of weddings and funerals held at the Kingdom Hall. Additionally, multiple congregations should not be combined for meetings during this time period. Congregations previously scheduled for an upcoming circuit assembly will receive further information from their circuit overseer, including direction about baptismal candidates. Please note that this direction does not currently apply to regional conventions and should not interrupt planning for these events. Memorial arrangements. If possible, it is preferred that each congregation observe the memorial by meeting together in public as a congregation. However, bodies of elders will need to be sensitive to any direction they receive from local health authorities. Congregations should not be combined for the memorial. The attendance should be limited to the number who can comfortably fit in the Kingdom Hall. If this direction results in a change to the location of the memorial, please update jw.org accordingly. Publishers should be encouraged to support the arrangements made by the body of elders. And they sent directions on how to go on jw.org and change where your plans for the memorial. Emblems should be passed in the usual manner as stated in the letter dated March 4th, 2020. Arrangements should be made to thoroughly clean and disinfect the meeting location for the memorial before and after each event. Sick individuals should be directed to stay at home and to use alternate arrangements. Additionally, attendants should ask all to wash or sanitize their hands when they come into the auditorium and as they leave. After the memorial, the audience should be encouraged to promptly leave the building to enable cleaning and to minimize overcrowding. If the congregation is unable to gather together for a memorial, the body of elders should arrange for the publishers to meet as field service groups in small neighborhood groups or in family groups. In such cases, please follow the instructions in the attached document entitled Canceling Memorial Locations on jw.org. If it is not practical for the group to assemble together in person, they may assemble via Skype or some other electronic means, tying those in the group together. A capable elder could give the talk. If no qualified speaker is present, the group could use the recorded talk posted on jw.org. If it is not possible for some to attend the memorial as a group, they may watch the recording on jw.org. Regardless of which congregation arrangement is used, all publishers and interested ones who observe the memorial should be counted by the elders and reported. Oh yeah, you've got to get that attendance, get those numbers up. An assembly hall will host only one congregation for the memorial for the evening, if at all. If your congregation was scheduled to attend the memorial at an assembly hall, you will be informed of how this adjustment affects you. It has been decided that Bethel family members will not travel to other congregations for memorial assignments. Therefore, if a Bethel family member was scheduled to give the memorial talk, then the body of elders will need to select another speaker. And that is in your Shepherd the Flock of God book, chapter 20, paragraph 6. Kingdom Hall dedications. All Kingdom Hall dedications should be postponed until further notice. Thank you very much for your diligent efforts to prepare for the observance of the memorial despite the challenges presented by the COVID-19 outbreak. We pray that Jehovah's Spirit continue guiding you as you set an example worthy of imitation for the flock. Well, I think the Mormons are setting a good example. They've canceled everything. Except, they're going to be streaming basically their, worldwide convention. But other than that, they've canceled everything. So that's a good example, I think. And we know a lot more other religions are canceling the larger groups, especially here in New Mexico. So there again, like I said, just breathe and, try not to stress out over, stuff like this. And I know it's difficult. It's almost impossible. But it tears down your immune system. And, just remember, this is no effect against the infrastructure. Even China and some of these other hard-hit countries still have their infrastructure, power, aka electricity, and water, and all of that. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will try to keep everybody updated on news as I hear it. But at this point, pretty much everything is shutting down and being canceled, postponed. Even in New York City, Broadway and the whole theater district is pretty much shutting down. Theaters, and I already mentioned like baseball, and even the basketball going on this month, they're, not having fans. It's mostly streaming. So anyway, hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.